Obviously, we're just in the midst of practice here, practice number 16 here today, so a little bit of a unique week for us with some of the day offs that we have, mandatory day offs that we have to have, a little bit of a disjointed week. But obviously, we're going to scrimmage at the end of the weekend. That scrimmage that is supposed to be secret, that somehow is not so secret, is coming up. We decided to move our scrimmage a little bit earlier this year. And part of the reason was to get earlier feedback potentially, so that we can have more time to make some corrections. I think as a team, we're doing all right. We're still not completely healthy. I would say this group is not quite as far along as last year's group was in certain areas, and I think that can probably be attributed to a variety of reasons. Overall youth, more guys learning new stuff, but the one thing I am excited about I'm excited about a lot of things, but I think that I really believe that we'll go as our leadership takes us this year. And when you talk about CJ Walker and Andre and Caleb and Kyle and some of our older guys, I think we'll go as they take us. And I'm excited to see them continuing to grow in those important roles. So I'll open up for questions here, and we'll move further here.
As a starting point, can you give us an injury update? How's some of the guys
progressing? So Musa overall he's progressing, but I think time will really tell. He's involved in non-contact activities right now, and I think it's really an unknown right now as to what his availability will be at the start of the season. I couldn't tell you. And that's a position, the wing position is something that we're, kind of after Andre, we're trying to figure out a little bit, to be quite honest with you. But we're not going to rush him back. It's not in his best interest. I think it's kind of a day-to-day thing with Musa. He's not involved in contact. He's not been able to be a part of full practices right now. When that'll happen remains to be seen. Justin is involved in full contact and full practices. However, I think he'd be the first one to tell you that he is not what he was last year, certainly not what he was in the spring. He had a terrific spring. What percentage he would be, I don't know, but he's clearly not physically at full strength. EJ is progressing well and in getting in better shape. He's been involved in full practices here for a little under a week, I believe.
You talked at media day about guys needing to grow up and hurry with the youth. You just mentioned this team's going to go as far as your leadership can take you. How do you, in this part of the preseason, how do you try to bring along some of that youth and try to figure out some of those things that are holding you back maybe a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's everything that it's everything that you would expect. It's film. I'm reading the book now. Practice Perfect. That's good, really good. It was recommended to me by one of my former staff guys at Butler. And it just talks about, deliberate practice. So long story short, I don't want to get in the weeds, but it's really, as much as possible, we're going to try to go regular film sessions, some trial and error. We're trying to keep things as simple as possible for our young guys. They got to learn how to do things the way we expect them to do. Eventually the game will slow down for them, but it's coming at them pretty fast right now. And it will come at them really fast on Sunday as well. I think patience is going to be required on all of our parts, my part, our staff's part, their part as players, probably our fans' part, because I think there are going to be plenty of times where we'll play at least 2 or 3 of our guys out on the floor will be freshmen and sophomores, so multiple times, I'm sure.
You talk about how your team will go as far as your leadership takes it. And I think sort of a lot of people on the outside would maybe think that it would go as far as some of your freshmen might be able to take it just based on their readiness. Is part of you saying that because you have a young team and you're worried about you don't want your team in the hands of the freshmen right away?
No, I think part of my reason I'm saying that is because that is the expectation for older guys in a program, is that they'll lead it the way we expect them to lead it. And that is the role that these guys need to continue to move into. And, I think your team is generally as strong as your leadership. And that doesn't always happen with upperclassmen. There's no question that our freshmen are going to, and sophomores for that matter, are going to play an important role on our team. I'm not minimizing that. I just think throughout the life of the season, what will go as our older guys lead, how they lead, and kind of where they take us. I think it's too much to expect that for guys that are just trying to find their own way a little bit.
You talked about Alonzo trying to find consistency and that being a big key. Now that you've seen him in off-season workouts and now 15 practices, how consistent do you think he has been at Ohio State?
I would say he's been really consistent in rebounding the ball. He's done a terrific job rebounding the ball, but he's still got a lot of growth in that area. But he's had a great attitude, great approach. I think him still trying to figure out. Alonzo's never been a guy that has scored at a really high level at whatever level he's been at. So I think offensively that you're going to see some rough moments that are going to take some time. But he's done a terrific job rebounding the ball. He's picked up some things really well. But there's a lot of growth still got to happen there.